Municipal Solid Waste, or MSW, is better known as trash or garbage. We may think we know a lot about trash because we create it every day, but what are some of the everyday items that we dispose of? And how do we deal with all that trash? According to the EPA, municipal solid waste items include product packaging, grass clippings, furniture, clothing, bottles, food scraps, newspapers, appliances, paint, and batteries.
How much garbage do we actually create? In 2021, the United States generated 292.4 million tons of trash. This totals up to 4.9 pounds of garbage per person per day. This is a very high rate, nearly twice Sweden's rate of 2.8 pounds per person per day. We have a massive annual municipal solid waste generation, but not all of the sources are equal. The main contributors are paper, which is 23.1%, food waste, 21.6%, and plastics, 12.2%.
In order to understand the environmental impacts of municipal solid waste, we need to understand where it goes. The two most environmentally devastating methods of waste management are landfills and waste incinerators. We'll go into both of them to see how they have various negative impacts on the communities that they're supposed to help. First and most common type of garbage management is the landfill. One of the most concerning problems regarding landfills is that they will leach it, the contaminated liquid created when water mixes with disposed trash, into the environment. This leachate can have all kinds of nasty chemicals, things like volatile organic compounds, polychlorinated biphenyls, heavy metals, radioactive elements, and pharmaceutical compounds. Needless to say, we don't want these in our environment.
Landfills also release harmful biogases, including some with high methane concentrations. Garbage incineration plants produce even more toxic air pollution. Once burned, trash can release a range of nasty chemicals into the air. These include dioxins, sulfur dioxide, the compound that causes acid rain, carbon monoxide, mercury, and ultrafine particles. Both landfills and incineration plants contribute microplastics to the environment.
Why should we care about all of this? 11% of global greenhouse gases come from the methane released by landfills into the environment. This isn't the only cause though. Landfills and incinerators have also been shown to have severe negative health impacts on humans, and some of them have been proven to cause cancer. Another aspect of solid waste management is trash transportation. Every single city employs a fleet of environmentally impactful garbage trucks, and some jurisdictions, like New York City, ship their massive trash burden to places as far-flung as southwestern Ohio and Bishopville, South Carolina.
So now we know that landfills and incinerators put harmful chemicals into our air and water, and that we create millions of tons of trash each year. What does that mean for the actual environment? How does it respond to all of this trash? And what impact does it have in our daily lives? Current research on understanding the environmental impacts of landfills is focused on two main areas: leachate and methane production. One of the areas that the EU research team focused on is categorizing how much leachate and methane any single landfill produces. What they found is that modern contaminant methods can reduce the methane output by 86% compared to untreated landfills, which would have a major impact on greenhouse gases. This is especially true because methane is 84 times more effective than carbon dioxide at absorbing the sun's heat. Leachate leaks are a major problem that landfills have to contend with. According to a research paper published in 2002, leachate increases the mobility and thus the danger of toxic metals in the water supply. Leachate can also contain high levels of ammonia, which when nitrified can cause eutrophication of an ecosystem. Eutrophication is where the increase of plant life sucks out all the oxygen from a nearby water source. As a result, underwater life can no longer survive. Another major area of concern for research is determining the levels of microplastic concentrations of leachate. Researchers from China recently found evidence that leachate contains microplastics that leak into the environment. We still do not know the effects of microplastics have on human lives, but we do know that they have an adverse effect on marine life.
It isn't all doom and gloom though. Researchers across the globe are finding innovative solutions to help reduce the negative environmental impacts of municipal solid waste disposal. The research is finding many ways to improve how we manage our municipal solid waste, from limiting toxic fumes from waste incineration to managing leachate produced by landfills. Waste incineration is a desirable option because once burned, trash reduces 85 to 90% in volume, significantly reducing landfill size and our need for landfilling in general. The heat from burning the trash is often used to generate energy, giving garbage one last use. In addition, incineration facilities can be located closer to residential areas, lowering the impact of transporting our trash. All in all, waste incinerators seem like a great option. So why don't we entirely switch to them? Well, incineration plants are expensive to build and operate, and require special expertise to be safe. However, the biggest challenge is limiting the release of toxic gases into the environment. Scientists at the University of Hong Kong published a paper describing how the release of dioxins can be controlled during waste incineration. Dioxins are among the most toxic chemicals to humans, causing harmful effects at all levels of exposure. Their research suggests that the best way to control dioxin production is to burn the trash at a very high temperature. At temperatures of over 1,000 degrees Celsius, dioxins just burn off, mitigating their risk. In addition, they recommend that the furnace has a high Reynolds number of over 50,000 to prevent cold spots from occurring in the furnace that would allow these compounds to form. The Reynolds number measures the turbulence of a fluid, and a lower number means that the flow is less turbulent. Another area of concern for researchers is managing leachate release from landfills. Leachate formation and management is an incredibly complex topic that still isn't fully understood, but researchers have proposed some useful interventions. Depending on the type of landfill that needs to be treated, methods such as spray irrigation, leachate recirculation, physical and chemical treatment, or biologic treatment may be most effective. Spray irrigation is spraying dilute leachate onto grassland or peaty ecosystems to help it disperse safely into the environment. Leachate recirculation is taking any escaped leachate and putting it back into the landfill. Though this isn't very effective long term, it's a cheap and easy way to prevent a major leak into the environment. Physical chemical processes help to remove high molecular mass organic compounds from leachate. And the most popular leachate management option is biological treatment. If this method is chosen, leachate is sent to a wastewater treatment facility to be purified for release alongside sewage. Overall, municipal solid waste is an ongoing research problem and an important frontier in combating global climate change and protecting our environment. While scientists continue to work hard to minimize the impacts of these facilities, we can do our part by reducing our trash production and doing things like limiting single-use plastic consumption and being mindful of how much food waste we are creating.